Thinking about getting scuba certified? Well, hold on a second. Before you even think about swiping your card at a dive shop, you have to see the line item expenses they just don't tell you about. Today, we're pulling back the curtain and exposing the true price of breathing underwater in 2026. And that right there, that hits the nail on the head. It's a super common story. You see this amazing ad, you get all excited, and then, bam, you get hit with fees you never, ever saw coming. From the air in your tank to the little plastic card in your wallet, we are going to break down every single hidden cost so you can decide if it's really worth it. And look at this. This really puts it into perspective. The price you see advertised, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The real cost to become a safe, competent diver is often double that, just lurking right below the surface. We're all about digging into these details, so hey, if you find this kind of breakdown valuable, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. All right, so let's start our financial descent, shall we? First up, the sticker price illusion. This is all about that initial buy-in, that cleverly marketed price that's really just designed to get you hooked before you understand the full commitment. Now, to really get the cost, you first have to understand the market. And check this out, one organization, PADI, that's the Professional Association of Diving Instructors, they control about 75% of the entire global market. That kind of dominance means they basically set the price and the structure for the whole industry. And that's going to affect what you pay no matter where you go. And this is where it begins. You'll see these ads for the e-learning module, right? About $200 to learn all the theory online from home. Sounds great. But, this is often just what they call a loss leader. Once you've paid for that online part, you're already financially committed right before the local dive shop reveals the much, much higher costs for the in-water training you have to do. And get this, before you even dip a toe in the water, you're already spending more money. Most reputable dive centers will require you to buy your own personal gear. Why? Well, for hygiene, and more importantly, for a proper fit. Trust me, a leaky mask or fins that give you blisters will absolutely ruin your experience. So this becomes an immediate, non-optional purchase right out of the gate. Okay, so you've paid for the theory, you've bought your personal gear, you think you're ready, right? Well, next up are your open water certification dives. And this is where the surcharges, all those little fees you don't see in the ad, really start to pile up. This is the question every single student diver needs to be asking. The price of the course almost never includes the price of the diving itself. So what are these gotcha fees? And boom, here's where they get you. These small fees add up so fast. You need a boat to get to the dive site? That's extra. The park or quarry has an entrance fee? That's on you. Oh, and the physical certification card itself? Yeah, that can cost you too. And don't forget the expected tips for the crew and your instructor. You've easily added another $100, maybe more, to your total bill. Now you might be thinking, hey, I'll just get certified on vacation and save some money. A course in a place like Thailand might look incredibly cheap, but once you factor in the flights, the hotel, the food, that deal can quickly become way more expensive than just getting certified back home. Okay, let's dive deeper into what is probably the single biggest financial decision a new diver has to make. Do you rent that essential life support equipment, or do you take the plunge and just buy your own?
So here's the deal. It's a serious trade-off. You can totally rent, but you're risking it with low quality, ill-fitting, or honestly, kind of gross gear that could make your dives uncomfortable or even unsafe. The alternative? You buy your own stuff. You get comfort, you get quality, but wow, it comes with a massive price tag.
So what's that price tag look like? Well, a reliable regulator set, the thing that lets you breathe, and a buoyancy compensator device, or BCD, which helps you float, that can easily cost you over $1,200 combined. That's right, the gear can cost more than the entire course to learn how to use it. And it does not stop there. Owning gear means maintaining it. Regulators need professional servicing every single year to stay safe and to keep that warranty valid. Your tanks need periodic testing. These are recurring costs that make owning gear a serious long-term financial commitment. By the way, if this breakdown is helping you out, we'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the channel. This brings us to a really interesting part of the whole diving economy. It's how that one-time certification card starts to feel a lot more like a subscription that you just have to keep paying for year after year. Look, being a safe, active diver just comes with ongoing costs. You're going to want diver-specific insurance from a group like the Divers Alert Network, or DAM. If you're out of the water for more than 6 months, most places will make you pay for a refresher course. And of course, you have to pay for air fills every single time you go diving. It's just the price of staying in the game. Now, I want to define a term for you that is absolutely crucial to understand. It's called specialty creep. This is basically the industry's business model. Your first certification, it's really just the first step on a very long and potentially very expensive educational ladder. So, your basic open water certification card. It comes with one really big limitation. It only qualifies you to dive to a maximum depth of 18 meters, or about 60 feet. And that is the catch. So many of the most iconic dive sites, the incredible shipwrecks, the deep coral walls you see in documentaries, they're deeper than 60 feet. Your basic card literally doesn't grant you access to the stuff you dreamed of seeing. So, what do you do? Well, to see those amazing sights, the industry gently pushes you onto what we call the upsell ladder. First, it's the advanced open water course to get you down to 100 feet. Then maybe a deep diver specialty. Want to stay down longer? Well, you'll need the enriched air nitrox certification. Every single step is another course and another cost. Okay, let's surface and put all of these numbers together. It's time to do a final audit and really see the true financial picture of becoming a scuba diver. So, here it is, the final audit. As this table shows, even on the absolute low end, where you're renting most of your gear, you're looking at around $750 for your first year. But if you decide to buy your own equipment, that number can skyrocket to over $3,700. It's a huge range, and it's a significant financial commitment either way you slice it. So what's the takeaway here? What should you do? Here's your roadmap. Number 1, choose your instructor, not the agency on the card. That's the most important thing. 2, always demand a detailed line item quote upfront. 3, rent gear at first to make sure you love it, but then buy a quality mask and invest in your own life support gear later. And finally, understand that training ladder before you start so you can plan ahead without any nasty financial surprises. So we'll leave you with this question to think about. Is that little plastic card a license to explore the underwater world? Or is it really just a subscription to a very expensive club? The choice is yours. If this explainer helped clear things up for you, please give it a like, subscribe, and maybe share it with a friend who's thinking about taking the plunge.